What's dudes, Jake here. Today we're working on the 92 F1 build. We're actually installing the headers right now, so let's check them out. This is what we're going to be running. It's a mid-length header. They're just raw, they're not painted or ceramic or anything because they're going to end up being wrapped. But yeah, so we've been working on getting them installed up here in the front. And this side, which was the paint on the other truck that we did a few days ago, this side actually fits well. We didn't have to take out the heat shield on the firewall or anything. But we just grinded out the frame rail, and then we had to dent in the firewall a little bit. But that should fit. We're about to test fit that one again. We got this side all in as well. So we got, all we had to do on this side was hit the firewall a little bit. And it's a little bit more difficult with this motor because it's pushed back a lot more. We're trying to get it as low as we could to kind of change the center of weight on the truck. We ran into an issue early on this side that we're gonna have to get fixed. So one of the header bolts is actually snapped off. It wasn't from us, it was from a previous owner, but we weren't aware, but now the motor's in, so it's gonna be a lot harder to get it out. So we're gonna have to figure out some way to get in there and get a snapped off bolt off. Christian here was talking about just welding a nut to it if it's a steel bolt, and then the heat will kind of loosen things up, and once the nut's tacked on, we'll be able to just put on a normal socket and unscrew it. And hopefully that'll get it out. Hopefully it's not a pain. Hopefully we don't have to take the head off or anything, because that would be pretty time consuming. We don't want to have to deal with that. Got the stud out of the motor. What we had to do, it's probably a little hot still, but we got a nut and we just welded it. And then we just got a wrench on there and backed it out, and it ended up working pretty good. What we had to do is we had to take the tire off, and then we had room in here then, so we got the welder roll in here and just tacked on the nut, and it came out smoothly. It didn't take very long. I thought it was gonna be a lot more complicated process, but I'm stoked we got it out. We got the driver's side header all wrapped. It was a little bit time consuming, but it came out pretty good. We just use these clamps right here. They're kind of like metal zip ties. They work all right, but in the future we'll probably go with another kind of clamp. But basically we just overlapped like maybe 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch each time, and then came all the way back. We just did them in sections, and then on the last one we just came through and then wrapped over all of them. On the exhaust, these didn't come with the O2 sensors already in them, like the bungs for them. So when we do our exhaust, we're just gonna have a bung sticking right here. Now we got the passenger side one that we're about to wrap here. So Christian's just gonna show you like what order we wrap the tubes in to make them look the best.
So what we're thinking is we're gonna do this back tube first, just because it's one of the shortest. And then we'll end up doing this one right here, the second one to the front, just because it's just the way you want to wrap it is you want to get as much coverage as you possibly can. So we'll end up doing this one by itself, this one by itself, and this one will come down and then wrap around these two and end up back in here. And then this will be the final one that will come down, wrap around this one and all the other ones, and then wrap all the way down the collector itself. For the wrap itself, it gets soaked in this water before we put it on, and that just makes sure it can stretch a little bit and it's a little bit more malleable. We're just soaking it and then we're gonna put it on. We're gonna show you how we do one of them as well. We got this one just mocked up and cut so we know how much we need to use. And each one of these, we're using about 50 feet of wrap per header. And so what we did, we just started pulling it out and wrapping it around to the end. Just roughly.
Yeah, just roughly. And then we cut a little bit extra as well, just in case. And so that tells us how much we're gonna need to use. So now we can pull this back apart and then wrap it how it's actually gonna be wrapped. So we did the first couple looms. Now we got these metal zip ties that we're using. And we just gotta go around up by the actual flange up here and make sure it's tight, and then we can continue looming it. I like how this one came out. You can see the clamp right here, but we're not worried about it. On the end here, we had to double stack the clamps, else it wouldn't reach around the whole tube. Yeah, the side's looking good. We double wrapped it here, and then on this one, we started to wrap it around the 3 tubes, then we went to all 4. And yeah, like I said, it's about 50 feet, so if you're ordering it, assume like around 50 feet for header. It's going to be a little bit more if you're doing a long tube and a little bit less if you're doing a shorty header. But that's how much we used. I know some people were like, oh, like 20 feet will be enough, but no, you only get like 1 tube, 2 tubes. Yeah, I'm stoked on how it came out. Alright, so it's a new day. It's actually the 3rd day in this video. The first 2 days was the weekend, so we were just kind of chilling. We weren't worried about getting stuff done. But now it's our first work day of the week, so we're trying to get stuff done. So we went to Ace and got some hardware. Ace hardware. We had these, flip it over. We had these tabs right here that just take a 1/4 20 screw. So we got some, and we put a little washer in there too. And these are going to be the cyclones, which we're going to mount. Yeah, Christian will hold it up. We're going to mount them right there. So there's going to be kind of like an underglow or a light onto the, like all this, so at night we can see it. And it's basically for looks because it's blue. It's not really utility.
Yeah, but it'll work just in case we want to look at anything inside of the fender well at night. Just to check everything out while we're on like night runs and stuff like that. We'll be able to look inside and see if anything's f***ed up, if any bolts are loose, stuff like that. But yeah, it's majority of it's just for looks, but it'll be good.
Yeah, so we got that, and we also got hardware for this right here. This is a strap, and we got these ones right here, which are gonna sit down in here, and we got to make a tab. That's to mount the jack handle right here. And you can see the other side, it's kind of mocked up over there. I'll zoom in to kind of help you out. But we're going to mount them right off these tubes right here and get those kind of clamped down. And yeah, let's take a look at the headers that we did yesterday. It's kind of hard to see under here like it is under any vehicle. But we got both headers in and they're all wrapped. But to route the exhaust, these mid-lengths kind of shoot the exhaust down and not back. So we're going to have to make a piece that's going to come up and allow us to go over the cross member. I don't know when we're going to be doing the exhaust, but when we do, we're probably not going to do an X-pipe. It's probably just going to be true dual, so it'll go over this, have a muffler, and then just shoot down. And some people were asking me what this gold stuff is. This is just a reflective tape. It kind of just reflects the heat off, so it doesn't, you're not getting a lot of heat in the cab. Under the carpet in here too, we also have a fat mat, so it's mostly for sound, but it'll keep out some heat as well. Back under the truck, we're kind of having a problem with the starter. It mounts off these 2 bolt holes right here, but the back end of it kind of shoots out this way, and it actually hits the motor mount. We're either gonna have to grind it while it's under the truck, or we're gonna have to take it out of the truck and grind it, just to clearance it. There's not a bolt here, so we're not worried about it messing up any structural stuff. It's not a big deal if we have to grind that out. But yeah, so we got to grind that out so the starter fits, and then that'll be all good. On a side note, I've been getting a lot of comments like supporting the videos and telling me keep going. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Christian and I are still trying to upload a couple times a week. But those kind of comments make my day, so thank you. Christian got the cyclones all welded up. He just, we kind of lined it up so it shoots down on the axle and bump stop, just in that general area. And he tacked them up and then took the light off and final welded it all. So that's all in on both sides. And while he was doing that, I was cutting out the tabs for this, which is the jack handle mount. And now we got those done and burned in on both sides. So now we just gotta put it in and put the nuts on. So that's how it's gonna go. The nut just slides down in the hole. And then it keeps it all mounted by these rubber straps right here. So to get the jack handle off, we'll just have to pull these straps off and then pull the jack out, and we can use it in the desert. Now we gotta move on to getting the radiator all dialed. These upper tabs we made a long time ago, and we're just gonna clean them up. We're gonna round the edge off right here, so it just matches the line of the radiator basically. And there's also kind of a lip down here that we're gonna have to grind down. And those are just the upper mounts. We haven't really touched the bottom, which is what we're gonna have to do now, because it's kind of just sitting on the inside of this like ridge for the core support. So we're gonna have to make an actual mount for down there, and then the radiator will be all mounted. We figured out how we're gonna mount the radiator. What we're gonna do, we have all of it taken apart right now. Part of the intake's gone and the radiator's out. But we're gonna run like a tube across, not a tube, we're gonna run like this square, I guess it's tubing, it's square tubing. That's gonna run across the bottom. And then we're gonna build basically like a cup that'll hold the radiator. Here, this will make more sense. It'll kind of grab onto the radiator like this. So we got the tabs all like drawn up, and I got the main piece cut out. I left all of it uncut, so like I didn't cut these out so I could get it in here easier and drill the holes so I can clamp down on it. So I'm gonna drill these holes, and then cut all the tabs out, and then we'll mock them up, weld them, and then we're gonna put a piece of rubber on here so it's not just metal on metal with the radiator. But yeah, so we're gonna make the cups, weld them, and then we should be able to mount the radiator. I got those pieces cut out, and then Christian got them tacked and welded on. Let's see what they look like. So this is the bottom of the radiator, and this is the part that's gonna be touching the core support, and these are the tabs we cut out. And so basically, there's a rubber piece in here that's gonna stop any vibration or any noise. And this piece right here is gonna get mounted right in here. And we got the core support all ground down, it's gonna get welded right there. And we got the motor all covered as well, so no sparks are getting on anything. So we gotta sit it back in, get everything mounted and sat where it's supposed to be, and then we'll get it all welded along the bottom. We got the lower piece all burned in, final. What we had to do is we dropped the whole radiator in, got the top bolted up, and that way we could align the bottom. And Christian just tacked it, and then we pulled everything back out and we final welded it. So now all we have to do is slide it in one last time and bolt the top mounts on, and she's good to go. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. We got the radiator mounted, we got the headers mounted and wrapped, and we got the jack handle mounted, and we also got the KC cyclones mounted. So in the next video, we're probably going to be mounting the motor oil cooler, and we're probably going to be messing with the fuel system. I'll give you kind of a sneak peek. We got a lot of the pieces for it, just for the filler. We didn't get any actual lines or anything, but it's just going to come up, and we're going to have to get a mount right here, which is on its way, but then we'll have to cut this back. And then that'll be all sealed up. But that'll be in the next video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like the content, please subscribe or comment, and have a great day. Goodbye.